I'm not even going to say I'm back, because at this point it's not even exciting, or is it surprising? I'm just going to say hi. Hey homegirls, welcome back to my channel. Welcoming myself back as well, because I've barely even looked on YouTube for like the last 3 months. My channel's catching dust. You guys are probably really frustrated at me and have no idea where I went, but this video is just explaining, but I feel like I've done that so many times. But I'm giving myself grace to allow myself to process life's like struggles and life's trials and life's events, where like I don't get frustrated at myself if things don't go smoothly or like in routine, because life has not been in routine recently. So for me to come on here on YouTube and pretend like life's been in routine would be me lying. I'm just letting the Lord lead at this point. I'm letting God tell me, you know, when is the right time to post, when my mind is mentally there. I hope one day to be back as I was in the past, where I was doing YouTube, TikTok, the influencer, I was doing podcast, I was doing everything. I was doing lives, I was doing Bible studies, I was doing the whole shebang. But my life has changed a lot since then. I've gotten into the working world fully, and I have a very different schedule to when I was 18, early 19. Cut a long story short, I am not giving up on my dreams of doing this properly and doing it consistently, whatever that looks like in the future, in the sense of doing it full time or not. Going to be talking about that in this video. But yeah, just want to say I'm sorry, and I also want to say I love you guys so much. Like, I've been having so many messages of you guys saying like, how am I, hope I'm okay, like, you know, take my time, and I really do appreciate that. Like, you guys are my real homegirls, and that's why I want to be doing these videos, obviously for myself, and I've had this passion since I was 15, but there is nothing more satisfying than making videos or doing something, anything, for the sake of other people, like putting your selfless effort into it. Like, these videos are for you guys. I know you guys enjoy it. I know you guys like to keep up with my life, which is weird that you do, because I think of myself of like being the most normal person in the world. But I think it's nice because you guys, for the most part, I really hope you guys see me as a normal person and you're just coming along. Oh, the camera died. The struggles of being a YouTuber, but I'm back. These lights have got to go. We need new ones. So what has actually been going on in the life of Elodie Christina? When I filmed that last video, I was in a stage of looking for a new job, hating my job, and it really got to me mentally. I don't want to go into too much detail, nor do I want to bash my old employer, but let's just say, girl, that it was ghetto.
Oh, yeah, the ghetto!
And I was probably feeling down about it actually since December of last year. I never wanted to admit that, but I actually started that job in November. So it was just over a month where I realised that it wasn't as amazing as I thought. Bear in mind though, it was my first professional job aside from YouTube, so it was my first employer before I was employed by myself and my mum. So, you know, maybe my expectations are too high, maybe I was expecting too much from a job, and this is just what I've got to suck up with, which is to an extent true, and I've learned a lot of like resilience from my old job. But I think I got to about May, and talks came up with my family members about my job, and they were like, girl, that is not it. That is toxic. That is not good for your mental health, and do not feel like you need to be staying somewhere that is not benefiting you as a person. And that was the first time it clicked to my head, because I was like, I've never had anything else to compare it with. Like, I've not had another job to say like, oh, you know, my last job wasn't like that. What job? I didn't have a job before that. This is my first time having a like real job. So that was when I first started looking for new jobs, which was hard because I got let down a lot. I didn't get responses back from applications. I had interviews and didn't get the job. My self-esteem was very low at that point because I thought, I'm never going to move on. I have only one job. I'm 20 years old. I don't have the right skill set. No one will ever believe in me because my last employer didn't believe in me, so who else is going to, you know? So that was like my pure focus, if I'm being honest. From about May to August when I got my new job, I was just trying to get out of my job, and it really stopped me from doing anything. Like, not just videos, not just, filming and like content creation. This was my life. Like, it took away my life, and I thank God so dearly for being there for me during that time, and I thank God for my faith to have something to lean on, because I really don't think I would have handled it as well as I did if I didn't have God. I was already feeling incredibly anxious and depressed, and I'm not just saying that as in like, oh, someone made me cry at work today. Like, yeah, people did make me cry at work, but I was taking sleeping pills pretty much every night to go to bed because I couldn't sleep. My anxiety was absolutely ravenous. Like, I would wake up in the morning and just cry and have panic attacks and scream and say, I don't want to go into work, I'm too scared, what's someone going to say to me? And it's like, life should not be like that. And this was after I got a promotion. So in April I got a promotion because my old manager left the job, and in my head I was like, you know, wow, like, your girl's making money now. I mean, not like money, but money in comparison to my age money. And I was, you know, getting a bit excited and like starting to rely on my job again. I think the money and the power, I guess, what I thought was power turned into be just people taking the mick with me more. But I thought that those things meant I could stay in a job and I would feel obliged to stay in that job for longer, because if you're paying me more, if I've been promoted, if I can feel my career progressing, I shouldn't leave, because I wasn't there for a year and I was young, and that was something I kept hearing, whether it was from people at work or just like people in the industry. Like, if you're young, you need to stick out, you need to have dedication, you need to stay at a job for at least 2 years. And in my head I was like, I can barely do one, like I can barely do 6 months, let alone a year. And I was really like struggling, and I was having like all of these different conversations with myself, obviously, until my family said to me, like, this isn't right, you need to get out. As I said, it took away my life. I didn't see friends at all, to be honest. My social life is only really just slowly coming back. So after applying for so many jobs, getting let down, crying over work, sleepless nights, I finally secured a job, and I started in August, the 17th of August. I got let down from a job, I think 2 weeks before I got that job, and I was like convinced that I was going to get that job. I was so incredibly confident about that job that when I got let down from it, it knocked me out, it winded me, and I was like, there's actually no way, like, I'm never going to move away from this old company. God teaches you such amazing things in your defeats, because I was only really after that job because of the convenience of the location, the hours, and the salary. And the office. The office was pretty. I wasn't really wanting the job for the culture. I wasn't really wanting the job for the responsibilities. I was wanting the job because of what it could do for me on a instant gratification basis. And that was not what I realised in the moment. But now I look back and I look at the job that I'm in now, this one just weighed up 100% more. And I don't mean to say that like I was entitled because I thought I was like the best person in the world. I was entitled, but I was entitled because the competition wasn't difficult. It was between me and another person, and they had stated that that other person didn't have as many skills as me. So in my head, ding ding ding, I obviously go, well, I'm gonna get the job, aren't I? But no, and I still can't actually tell you why I didn't get that job. I'm not angry about it, but I'm, you know, still couldn't tell you why. But God, God clearly didn't want me to get the job for a reason. Maybe because of the company that I was trying to get into wasn't for me, or for the fact that like I was going for the completely wrong reasons and I wasn't actually pursuing my dreams. I was just pursuing comfort. Because I think when you're in a job where you feel scared to come in every day, you're afraid of what people may say to you, you find the work so mundane and so boring, and you're just like, oh, just someone save me. Like, I literally felt like the interview process was like me begging an employer, just take me away. I don't care if you're making me vacuum the halls up and down 10 times a day, take me out. I was even thinking of getting a job in Tesco's just to like get out faster. Like, I wasn't thinking in the long term about my career and about where God was leading me, nor was I really thinking about the potential that I have, you know, the skills that I have. I was willing to undermine myself and sit and do admin all day. No shade to admin, because I do love me a bit of admin, but admin is not for me for a full-time job. I'll do a little bit of admin here and there, but creativity, content creation, marketing is what I do. I didn't even like give you context as to what my job is. You could be thinking I'm a lawyer for all you know. I'm in marketing. So my last job was a marketing assistant, and it was very heavily admin based, but I was willing to just carry on doing the same job as that, which is wrong. And I realize it's wrong now, but at that point when you're in such desperation and struggle, you're willing to just like cling on to anything. Whether it's good or beneficial or has a future, you're just willing to like latch onto it and say, you know what, this is me. As long as I'm away from that place, that's fine. That is a very worldly mindset to have. That is not the mindset that God has called me to have. It's not the mindset that God has called you to have. God has called us to withstand troublesome times so we can walk into things that are abundant. God called us to live life and live it abundantly. God didn't call us just do what was easy, but that's exactly what I was doing. So God had to really teach me, like, baby girl, I have so much more for you. I have plans to prosper you and not to harm you. I can do so much more, and I have to be patient. And that patience was hard. When I got let down from that job, I really just thought, you know what, I'm just going to be here forever, or I'm just going to have to quit. You know, like it was either or. Quit without a job, like genuinely, or quit and go to Tesco's. I'm not going to get into marketing again. I'm not going to follow my dreams, because it was a stab really to my abilities. And I obviously don't want to go into too much detail of my last employer, but I didn't feel like I was appreciated.
I just want to be appreciated.
Some people that appreciated me, don't get me wrong, and I felt like, you know, they were the ones keeping me sane, because they always, you know, told me how good I was and, you know, how they really appreciated me. But then there was others that really didn't want to see me win, you know, they didn't want to see me progress. I didn't feel like I was a helpful addition to the company. I just felt like I was a bum on a seat, you know. I felt like I had so much to give, but they didn't let me give it. I had so many good ideas, but they didn't let me show it. They didn't let me, you know, turn it into reality. So for me, being a creative, it was a very mentally draining role to be in. I am the type of person that wants to give to a company that I work for. I never thought I'd say that, because I was so obsessed with entrepreneurialism. You know, I never want to have a boss. Like, you know, 9-to-5 work is slavery, and, you know, whatever. I was basically a Marxist at this point. And, you know, not saying that I never want to be an entrepreneur and I never want to, like, pursue my dreams in this sense, but I've realised the value of working and the value of having a boss and the value of pouring your abilities into a company for them to train you and give you tools. Especially at my age, you know, I just want to learn a lot, and I want to, you know, be around people that are building me up. And I didn't feel like my last company was doing that. I didn't feel like I left the day feeling like, wow, I've really done something today. Like, you know, I've updated that spreadsheet, but I've not done anything today. Like, I've not even really, you know, shown myself to be of use in the way that I know I can be of use, you know. If I applied for an admin job and I was doing admin, then yeah, you know, I'd be happy that I'm keeping the clocks ticking. But I was employed to do marketing, I was employed to do filming, I was employed to write and do blogs and be creative, and I wasn't doing that. I didn't give up, and I actually had my CV on read, which is something that, you know, is a bit dodgy when you're in a recruitment agency. I was in recruitment, by the way. Gosh, I'm terrible at telling stories. I was a marketing assistant at a recruitment agency. And if you don't know about recruitment, they obviously look at the job boards to find candidates to then hire. So me putting my CV on the job boards was a very tricky thing, and I knew that they would see my CV. I got a phone call from a recruiter again, saying they had a job at an insurance company. Do I want to go for it? I said, yeah, of course. And then she said, actually, we've also got a job here doing marketing. Girl, did you not know that I just came from a recruitment agency? I never want to go back. I literally cannot stand an environment like that. And if you don't know what recruitment is like, think of like 40+ people answering high volume calls and just treating people like numbers, treating you like a number. Everything is so rushed, everything is so all over the place. People are like, this is urgent, this is urgent, this is urgent. But 10 people have told you that it's urgent, and you're literally like like crying, literally. Like, I would have to go to the toilet and just breathe, like, wipe my tears and get back out there and carry on with my work. It was character building, and I don't think I take it back for the sake of having that experience and being able to tell people that I was a bad bee and I put up with that. But it was not beneficial to my mental health long term. But I said, you know, sure, I'll go for this job because I was desperate. And to be fair, I had seen other recruitment agencies that aren't as crazy as my last company. They were a lot less high volume, you know, they took a lot more time on their placements. Rather than just like filling 50 roles at a time, they would take their time to fill one role for a much higher quality candidate, which just makes the overall environment a lot more relaxed. I'm not saying like things don't get stressful every now and then, like it does with every job, but it, you know, it didn't seem like it felt like recruitment. And I thought, you know what, maybe they're like that. Maybe I shouldn't judge a book by its cover so easily. Maybe I shouldn't just jump out of recruitment so easily, because if I'm being honest, I really did enjoy recruitment. Like, I wasn't recruiting, but I enjoyed learning about the market. I enjoyed the thought of like getting people new jobs. Like, I learned a lot from my old job that it would be a shame to just like let go of it and, you know, never use it again, you know. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go to the interview. So I had an interview. I don't even know how long after now, it feels like such a blur, but I had an interview with my 2 now directors, and I was just blown away. They sold me the job. I feel like I sold myself very well. The chemistry was just there. I'd never had an interview where I really felt like I vied with my employer. That doesn't happen. You're usually like stiff and like very like overly professional, trying to like, you know, answer the questions in the most eloquent way, but it felt like I was actually having a conversation, that we were actually having fun, you know. I laughed, I made them laugh, like it was nice. I then had my second interview with the marketing director. Obviously talked a lot more deeper about my knowledge. I came out of that one not too sure, because I realised I wasn't as senior as what they were hoping for, so I was like, maybe I won't get the job. I was kind of upset about it, but I was like, you know what, whatever. They then invited me into an in-person interview, and the way it was going and the way they seemed like they were talking about me, it was like, right, they're going to offer me the job, like there and then. And I was like, yep, I'm going to get the job on the spot. But obviously then you get anxiety, and I was like, I don't know, I've been let down way too many times. Let me not gas myself up too much. I had like basically 2 interviews in one, got offered the job on the spot. When I tell you, I had never felt so relieved, so proud of myself, but also so thankful for God. Like, I've had difficult situations in life. I've had to be patient. I've had to withstand trials. But I really do think that was probably the hardest physical trial in my life. Like, I've had, you know, depression, mental health, breakups, you know, all of that. But I'd never had an actual situation, like a physical situation, that I needed to be rescued from. I'd never had to like sit and be patient and wait so desperately to be like let go, you know. Like, that was the first time I'd ever seen God's glory like show up in that sense, and actually physically like give me something that I've been waiting for, but actually teach me something in the process. Like, I didn't just get it like that. I didn't just, you know, walk out, apply for my first job, get employed first time. God's timing leads to something better than just rushing into something, you know. I just realised I meant to put this candle on this whole video. Oh my gosh, so good. This is Primark, mind. I haven't even shown you the background of my little setup here. So I've got new photos. I think I've shown my new photos. This one says, whatever is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. I've got a little diffuser thing here from Primark. It smells very nice, but it doesn't really bring out much smell. Like, I literally just kept it open, and like I feel like I'm not really getting much from it. So if you guys have, I mean, obviously it was very cheap, it was 80p, wasn't expecting much, babe. But if you guys have any good diffuser recommendations for me to buy, I would love that. I love smells. Like, I love my room to smell nice. That's why I like candles all the time. But I think a diffuser is a lot more of like a calm scent. Like, candles can get a bit over the top quite fast, so I don't like them obviously all day every day. But yeah, this is from Primark, but this is very strong smelling. This is the first time I've lit it though. It's the cotton one. InfluenceHER vibes. This is it. I really like the packaging as well. And then also I've got my little bum vase. I've wanted one for so long, and I saw it in Primark, and I couldn't. I just couldn't. Like, I just think it's absolutely adorable. Like, some of y'all Christians are finna get angry, but I love her. So yeah, point is, thank you Jesus, I got a job. got a job that I love. I'm now a marketing executive at another recruitment agency. I love it. I love the people. I love what I'm doing. I feel like I'm in my dream job. Like, I don't even mean to sound like overly sentimental, but I am in the place where I want to be and I am growing. I think based off of everything that I've explained in this video and everything that I've been going through recently, my advice that I would give to my younger self at this point in my life would be to trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him and He will make your crooked path straight. I have gone through life very headstrong, very sure of my path, very determined to achieve exactly what I have envisioned in my head. I have always been extremely ambitious. I wanted to be, like, you know, the best entrepreneur. Now I want to be, you know, the best marketer in the world. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think in the midst of it sometimes we forget that God may want something slightly different. He may have a completely different time frame to you. He may shake things up a bit and let you down, so say. But He's not letting you down, He's letting your pride down, and that is the best thing, to be let down. That's it. I hope that it was interesting. Hope you got a bit of tea, hope you got a bit of inspiration, and I hope you have left wanting to seek God deeper and seek His plans for you, and know that you have a true, inspiring and important purpose on this earth. Like, God has called you to something so amazing, and it may not look exactly how you want it to look, but you will get there and you'll be so grateful for it. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a very blessed week, and I will see you guys soon.